If I could have an Andy tonight, under the mistletoe, probably in the butt. Don't know if he'll ever listen to this, but the important thing is Andy. Andy. Here's Andy. I don't care about your super trendy animes, 'cause they look hideous in terms of art style.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the shell that houses the mighty robot of Andrew inside of him. It's Mikey G. Wolfie 3. Hello, Mikey.
Pork suck.
Yeah, you you like to light that fire straight away on the podcast as well as on Facebook. Okay, cool.
Pork suck.
Why do pork suck?
Because he should have just eaten it.
See,
that would have been better if after all that he still ate it.
I saw an image of it was obviously photoshopped, but of what a cooked pork would look like, and it looked quite tasty.
A cooked pork looked like a cartoon turkey.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be so sure it was photoshopped. I'm just going to say that.
The only thing I'd be worried about is how it tasted, because pigeon is not a tasty bird.
Well, they're puffins.
Are they? Is that what it? Well, it's that mixed with what, an owl or something, isn't it?
I thought it was like a dog.
I don't know. It's something stupid.
Basically, they're shit. And BB-8 is actually better, I will say, because BB-8 isn't a dog in this.
Oh, so he actually does something of worth and value.
Well, no, but it's like they don't treat her like a dog anymore. They treat her like a person. Or at least as much as they treat droids as person anyway.
Huh?
Like, this was a random thing that came up into me a couple of days ago. But yeah, like, I kind of agree with Vangelis, and like I kind of want to see something that's sort of examining the fact that droids are a literal slave race that are seen as expendable by even the good guys.
Oh, it's fine. They're just robots.
But they're crying.
It's fine. They don't have souls.
But they're crying.
The rebellion's coming, Mikey.
The rebellion is the problem. They're as bad.
No. The real rebellion. The one that stands for truth and justice and robotic freedom.
I would watch that. Like, Star Wars droids, but like rebooted into something very dark.
Oh, that'd be great. I think you might have Jai's attention there with the droid show.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about droids or Star Wars.
Or how much pork suck.
Or how much pork suck. Debatable or not. Mikey would say it's not.
No debate. Science.
We're here to talk about the Transformers and the news of the Transformers. So we're going to kick off with the news this week with some, well, potentially crappy news, potentially good news, depending on your perspective on this news thing. So we have new Transformers Plushie listings. They've been revealed. Clip Bots and Bumblebee. So, Mikey, do you like The Last Night?
And in a very, very ironic sense.
Do you think the styles of that movie translate well into a kid-friendly, huggable, cuddly, squishy thing?
I do remember the time they did the one with the changing face, where you ripped off
the
its
bear
face.
thing. Yeah. Build-A-Bear. At least that made a bit more sense, because Build-A-Bear, the bears.
Yeah.
This isn't a Build-A-Bear. This is a Bumblebee plush in the style of, obviously, the Last Night version, or some version of the movie. It looks like... Oh, no, but it's most likely for the Bumblebee movie, it says. Huh.
Yeah, but the Bumblebee they've got pictured, I think, is the one where you take off the face.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm
really sure. It's also talking soft toy of Bumblebee.
Well, maybe not talking, but audio clips from Friendly Radio.
I guarantee you someone give him lines. I want that now. I want that because it's funny.
I've clicked on the links to both the Clipbots plush assortment, which are $6 effectively each, and the Bumblebee plush, which is effectively $15. And they actually don't have any images on the website from the links, so we can only go off this one image of this very dead-eyed Bumblebee. So, Mikey, what do you think? Does he look huggable? Do you want to squeeze him and pet him and call him your own?
Not really, but, technically this is one that's already been released, so I'm less fussed, I suppose.
Sure.
If I was fussed at all.
Oh yes, because this image we have is the Dark of the Moon version, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah, sure.
maybe the Bumblebee movie plushie one, which the price I gave you, maybe that one will have a more cuddly design to it and look a bit more friendly, and maybe be a bit more friendly. But then again, I suppose he will be suffering from World War II still, potentially, if they remember that.
I hope they don't.
I hope they forget it too.
I hope that, like, I am a continuity whore, but I would very, if Travis Knight just sort of came in and said, like, nah, it's like, maybe they don't go looking for Unicron. Maybe we all forget about that and we all just sort of make something different.
Maybe my movie can be the start of a good series of Transformer movies, or better series of Transformer movies. How about that?
How about I pave the way?
Yes.
Maybe this could be the Iron Man.
There
your
go.
mind's not blown when you look back at it in hindsight, but at the time,
it was great.
And it's serviceable, certainly, years later.
I still like it. I still like that Iron Man movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Do you know why Obadiah Staines really betrayed Tony Stark, Mikey?
Is it because he's bald?
Well, that might actually be the case. But do you remember? Do you remember when Tony Stark came back and he had a McDonald's or a Burger King?
Oh, not let it go.
No, he didn't offer Obadiah Staines one. He didn't get him one, and he was hurt. He was emotionally scarred, and Obadiah Staines was like, "Fuck Tony. I was gonna give him a chance when he came back after I sent him to them terrorists." No Burger King. Fucking line in the sand's been drawn, sonny boy.
Very Northern Obadiah Stane there.
That's right. Well, Tony's got to lay his last golden egg. He's the golden goose. Oh, there's some fucking amazing lines from Obadiah Staines. What a shame he died. Spoilers.
Yeah,
for
I could say that about most Marvel villains, to be honest, because their dying meant they could never be saved.
Yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer. Do we have anything else to say on these plushes that we don't have images for, Mikey?
Not really.
Well, then take us on to Iron Warriors.
Yeah, so Iron Warrior, last week, they revealed 05, which was their Transformers Prime Optimus Prime. And this time they revealed Iron Warrior IW02 Strife 07. This is the second of their movie figures. The first one was Gear 07, which was a Ratchet, I didn't actually realize had been released.
And who seems to be broken in some of these images.
He's a model kit.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's not really a model kit. You've got a base robot, and then, like, all his, like, plates and stuff are,
the plug-on kind of thing.
Are plug-on, yeah. So
Didn't they have an action figure like that from Dark of the Moon for Bumblebee and Prime, where you kind of got, like, the protoform body and you stuck on the bits? That sounds familiar.
Yeah, like, this is called the Dual Model series when they were doing it.
Oh.
But it's a lot, like, it's not like that. It's basically, here's an articulated robot, and here's just, like, his armor. There's no swappable element, unless it's, like, I don't know what you do. But, who's currently up on tfdirect.com for $70.
Okay, wasn't that the price of Prime was? Prime.
No, we don't have a price for Prime.
That's what we were assuming. Yeah, that's
but we're hoping that it's not much higher than that.
That's right, yes. Sorry.
We're hoping. We live in whatever. But we've got pictures of the next figure in their movie referential series, which is their Brawl. And, of course, we don't know if this Brawl is a model kit or not. I'm looking at him, and I can't tell, to be completely honest. It's just the designs are so bitty anyway.
Yeah.
I can't tell if those armor plates come off.
I mean, they could. They very easily could, I suppose.
It's a pretty damn accurate rendition of Brawl, or Devastator, or Brawlistator, whichever one you want to call it.
Sure.
Yeah, he's pretty on the ball in terms of, like, design-wise.
He's not sized correct. He's not scale-wise,
no,
though, is he? Because, like, he was fucking massive in the movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Like, the only time we saw him next to anyone was next to Jazz. And Jazz was a midget.
Yeah.
So Jazz was smaller than Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Like, we never actually see him standing next to the big guys like Ratchet or Ironhide.
No, it's true.
Actually, you never see him stand next to anyone.
No, he fights Jazz. Jazz kills him in 3 seconds, and, well, he's dead.
Well,
then.
he's like, Brawl is standing behind, like, a small amount of cars or something for the entire fight. He never moves forward. He's always just sort of moving side to side.
Yeah, even when the humans blow off, like, most of his arm and everything else, he's still just standing there going pew pew pew.
Pew pew. And in the open as well, not hiding. Not actually, like, undercover. You know what? The action movies... I'm going to say something here. The action in Transformers movies are pretty bad. Fuck everybody who says, like, oh my god, at least the action's good. It's not. Well, even at its best, it's watchable once until you actually start thinking about it.
Well, it's either that or it portrays the Transformers as they don't give a shit about being hit. And I think you probably would if you're a living being.
My favourite one was in last night when Hound gets shot in the chest, right?
Right. And
at the side of him, 2 explosions go off in places where there was no shrapnel because he was hit by an energy blast.
It's fine.
It's not.
He dropped 2 grenades behind him.
And blew himself up.
Yes. Accidents happen.
Or like when Grimlock is in an Age of Extinction gets knocked on the ground and the ground explodes.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know.
Oh god. But yeah, so we get some good prototype shots. Nothing else. We don't know if he comes with any accessories or anything like that, but I can't think what Brawl would come with. But yeah, what do you think of him, Andy?
I mean, like you said, he looks like Brawl does, or should do, or Devastator should do. I like his feet. They're very bitty and more like tripod feet than anything else because he's got little toes, which is kind of nice. Yeah, it's a movie look. As everyone knows, and we've said it many times, I can never get that excited about this stuff, but it's accurate, I guess. I think. So yeah.
Okay, Andy. In that case, take us on.
Sure, Mikey. Let me tell you about Mech Planet Hot Soldiers HS-02 Legend-size Optimus Prime prototype. Now remember, Mech Planet is the dirty company that, before becoming Mech Planet, were also a knockoff company that knocked off and upscaled third-party figures. And I think they're still doing it. Can't remember. I know they're doing yeah, they must be because they didn't do the rest of the DX9 Dinobots, so they're still probably coming. Yep. But this is... Excuse me. This is their G1 Optimus Prime to go along with their Ratchet, Ironhide, Bumblebee, Sound Blaster, and Soundwave. He's in scale, so he's bigger than them, and he seems to come with roller, which is kind of nice. We see some images of him, and I think he looks, for a Legends scale Optimus Prime, he looks pretty successful. But I do have the problem of it is Optimus Prime, and I'm not super Optimus Prime-y.
It looks like they scaled down the Masterpiece. Like they got there's a weird thing with some of his proportions look like a CAD model has been compressed.
Yeah, I would say especially like movie a Masterpiece 1. That's the feeling I'm getting from him because it looks like his wheels. Do you remember on the original Masterpiece how the wheels kind of went inside of his dummy? If you look at where the Matrix is open, it kind of looks like his wheels are stored underneath the Matrix.
Yeah. But
so
I'm just looking at his proportions. It just feels like someone went reduce.
Yeah. Well. You know,
they are a company with a history of the dodge.
They are, and that's fine, I guess. He comes with an axe. I like how the axe actually goes onto the hand. It just pegs over the top, more like kind of a glove. I think that's good. He comes with his gun, and they show a trailer and, like I say, roller. I don't know whether this means they're all coming together as one big bundle or whether they sold the figure separately and just have Prime on his own. I'm not sure. But it looks like he does a decent amount of stuff. He also has a little panel that flips up, and it seems to be suggesting that it's some kind of communicator. Whether that's the case, who knows? Because it's unpainted, so it could change, or it might just be a part of the transformation. Mikey, what do you think of him? Do you think he looks good? I know you love Prime. Oh wow, okay, straight away.
I think he looks a bit shit, to be completely honest.
Really? Why is that?
Like I said, he looks dumpy as fuck. And I just don't know. Like there's some. He looks. Well, compared to the other figures as well, he doesn't look like he's from the same line. Like, his head is so small compared to his torso. And his torso is also so long. It's like, he's like 2 or 3 different figures that were put together. It's weird. And also, like, it's, hey, we've done the most boring character selection we could think of in this line. Who else could we do? Optimus Prime, G1.
Let's do
That's not
Prowl
1,000
next,
renditions.
and then 3 repaints, and then Starscream, and then 3 repaints.
I don't know. I was just scrolling down and someone said, "Wow, they're killing it with this character selection." I'm just like, they're doing the most boring things they can think of.
The most obvious ones, yeah.
Most boring. Let's call a spade here. Boring.
I think that I think they've picked ones that
Boring.
not going to be desperately hard to sell to people though, because you
I
go
would
Soundwave.
think they
people,
were the hardest to sell at this
Really?
stage because
Soundwave?
everyone has one.
not Legend Skill.
Yeah,
though.
there's at least. I'm sure there's a way to get a Legend Soundwave already. I'm sure there is. You can get a bloody Reveltech Soundwave.
Yeah,
Official one,
but not at this price point, because you got to remember that the price on these are ridiculously cheap. They're only like £15.
Yeah, but that's probably because
something.
they're knocking off someone else's Soundwave.
Not these ones.
Well, I know.
Legit. These ones aren't being knocked off. These, well, I don't know. Maybe the Prime is, but the Ratchet and the Bumblebee are their own things.
I know they're. I was teasing.
Okay.
But to be honest, I just don't like their design work either. I mean, I think the Bumblebee looks terrible as well. Like it looks like they had a Bumblebee design and they said, "Will we engineer him any further?" No, we won't.
Yeah, I don't mind him. I think for the most part he captures the, especially for a Legend scale. It's because the Legend scale I kind of let things slide, and the price point I let things slide. So he's close enough to what
I don't know.
G1 Bumblebee should look like.
I'd rather put the money into the other Legend scale companies just because they're doing more interesting stuff and they're doing more with the engineering.
They are.
I think this is cheaper, and if I this would be the figures I'd buy if I just wanted a small Bumblebee, just to say, oh look, I've got a small Bumblebee.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not doing that. I don't need a tiny Bumblebee in my life.
No, some people do though. I know a lovely little man from Florida who probably will be buying one if he hasn't already.
Yeah, but he's been out in the sun too long. In Disneyland, squirming.
Willed.
Don't
insult
him. I know what I said.
Oh, you dirty man.
But no, I have to admit, I'm surprised by how not into these I am. Like, I've seen, because I'm just looking at it now. Optimus looks completely out of proportion with the others. Like, they say he's in scale, he's really not. And even if he is, his head should not be the same size as Bumblebee's. And his arms look like... I'm just looking, the more I look at it, the more I dislike this guy. It's weird. Like, I prefer the Soundwave, and I think the Soundwaves pose terribly. But, yeah, I'm surprised by how not into these I am. And, you know me, I do like the Legends. But it's just, hey, we took a design that's already there, and we made it small and really cheap. Cool.
See, I like it. At least it gives another option, a cheaper option. So if someone who hasn't dipped into third party, it gives them a way to get into it.
But for me,
I never, for the most part as well.
I have to admit, I never consider other people when I'm looking at these things.
Oh no, that's fair enough.
Cause fuck them. But I don't know. But yeah. Like, I like the fact they actually did the removable matrix thing. That'll get lost so fast.
Yeah, I can't imagine how tiny that's going to be. Well, it's probably about the same size as the Unique Toys Headmaster heads. So, yeesh. One neat little factor as well is it seems like Bumblebee and the Ratchet and the Ironhide, not all three at once, but they can fit inside of the, Prime's trailer. So that's, again, nice little feature,
cool.
Which no one will ever use.
No.
Because that's, as soon as you get it, the trailer will go back in the box for space.
Unless you're insane.
Yeah, well, yeah, unless you've got that crazy space. Good luck to you. There's no price or release date for this just yet. But it'll be coming, obviously, at some point in the future. These are uncolored prototypes, so we'll see colored ones and then probably get a date around there. So we'll let you know. We'll keep you updated. Mikey, take us on to Zetas.
Yeah, Zeta Toys Armageddon, which is their color prototype of a third-party Bruticus. Now, this is the one where there's this weird thing of the cars and the land vehicle being oddly conservative, and then the two aerial guys, the shuttle and the helicopter, being weirdly classic style.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is our first shot of him fully combined. He's pretty heavy G1, but again, there's just these little weird stylistic bits, like his chest plate is completely, like the design, I've never seen that on any Bruticus.
No.
Like, he's got this weird grill-like structure. Vortex is an arm, their weird blackout-style Vortex is, wow, this guy is chunk. Like, there is beef in this guy. Like, I'm kind of digging him. I'm not usually into this kind of stuff, but I am digging it. What's your thoughts, Andy?
I'm interested to see how much of a backpack he has, because it does look like they've taken images to specifically hide how much of Onslaught's hanging off of his back. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of how it looks. It feels weird that he's got black hands. It's like he's wearing like murder gloves, as we'll call them, for them stranglings. To me, he doesn't look like Bruticus. He's got some aspects of Bruticus, but because of the way the body looks, it doesn't do it for me. He doesn't look big and chunky. He looks very slender and I guess kind of conservative in a way. Like I don't like how the legs kind of have come off.
It kind of looks like they just had like Onslaught's torso. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just had Onslaught's torso and stuck a bunch of limbs and padding on it.
Yeah.
Without modifying it.
Yeah. And again, I'm not a big fan of that chest plate that you talked about. Again, it's not very Bruticus-y. It's
I like
sort
it a
of
lot.
Bruticus-y.
I prefer it, to be honest, but...
Do you? Oh, no, it's not for me. I would prefer the animation model version, or at least the toy version.
Both are very boring,
that's just me.
I'll be honest. I know they're more G1, but fuck G1. I'm just trying to piss people off in this episode, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
But like, considering how not G1 the arms are, I'm pretty okay with the chest plate just not being an established style.
Yeah, I think it's also just because I know the robots for the arms at least are very un-G1-y, but then the legs just look G1. There's like nothing unique or stylish about them, so we don't get a super good look at his face either, just because it's all like upward angled. I would have liked a close up on that just to see how it kind of came off, but yeah, this is not for me at all. But then again, yeah, I was never gonna buy it, so that's fine.
There's two things I'm not happy about on this.
All right,
like properly not happy, and they're both in the legs. One is the fact that basically Swindle. It looks like they tried to do the whole G1 referential thing, but they've done it in a way that just really has you staring at his crotch the entire time.
Well, that's where your eyes gotta linger. That's where they're gonna linger,
Yeah. But it is very distracting. And the other is how Brawl attaches to the Onslaught. Because what seems to happen is that there are pegs on the other side of Brawl's arms that are connecting ports. And that seems like a very unstable joint to me. That seems like, cause you need a Brawl with any kind of flaws in his arms. Are they ratcheted? How do you lock them in, and how good is the lock to make sure that they don't start functioning? I mean, I'm even looking at it here. It looks like he's leaning forward slightly on that leg.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's an unusual design choice, and not one I think was possibly the wisest thing in the world.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from there. I don't know. Not for me, at least.
Anyway, that's my opinions.
Well, shall we move on, Mikey?
Yes.
We'll move on to Ultimetal Optimus Prime as the battle damage version, as this is the kind of segue version from kind of third-party news to kind of Japanese-y sort of kind of news. So, yeah, here we go. A second version of Action Toys non-transforming high-end Optimus Prime figure from the Ultimetal series, which we talked about a long time ago at some point early last year. Yeah. No, I think it was last year.
Ultimetal's been out for like 2 or 3 years now.
Fuck
at least.
off. Wow. Jesus.
Maybe
Time,
4.
yo. No, it can't be 4. Jesus. This is the second release sometime in the early part of this year that apparently will be coming up. It's going to be clocking in at a very cheap, $1,099.99. $199.99. We'll say it that way. Version of this figure. It's new. It's improved, I suppose. It sports an impressive paint job as well as features that made the first release great, so says the story, such as the removable armor pieces, the die-cast parts, the lights. New to this version is the fact that it's going to be battle damage, which means some of the parts options to the grill and torso and head that replicate Optimus Prime's famous fatal wound from the final showdown with Megatron in the live-action movie. Live-action movie? What are you fucking talking about, Andy? The cartoon movie. That one.
Ball dropped.
Ball dropped. will not be edited either. Don't worry about it. Now I will say that there's not a lot of pictures of the battle damaged version in quotations. So it's hard to really give a huge opinion on how good and how worthwhile battle damaged is, especially if you have it.
It's minimal. I mean, like, it's an antenna and it's the side. I mean, I like the fact that you can swap out to give him these very specific wounds, but I am also... That's not a lot. Then again, it wasn't like there was a bit for falling off of him at the time. And
you know what they should have done? They should have done the version from. Do you remember when Prime came back as a zombie from the Quintessons and they blew him up, and then he totally wasn't dead, even though they blew him up? That episode where he's literally falling apart, half of the side of his face is missing. That would have been neat. That would have been cool. Horrifying, but cool. But yeah, like you say, it's just kind of lackluster. The paint job's nice on him. He looks dirty. You know, he's not the clean Optimus Prime that you probably bought if you got the original version of this. So
yeah.
You know, that's kind of nice in itself. You're paying for a more upgraded paint job, but you know, it's still a lot of money. Can you remember how much the original one was?
Not a clue, and I wouldn't want to check now because you're going to see third-party prices.
Yeah, second-hand woo-woo. I'm sure it was a lot. I'm not sure if it was over 1,000 though.
No, I was looking around. I haven't heard about the Ultimetal line in general in a good long while. Like
since Ultimagnus, right?
Last thing I heard was Mazinger.
Oh god, yeah. No, I hadn't even heard about that. The last one I recall was the repaint into the Ultimagnus, and then I didn't keep up to date.
For anyone who doesn't know, Ultimetal, it's a line where robots are done in like high grade, fully articulated things, and then bits can come off. So you've got like the stripped down core robot. So like Optimus, you've got like it looks like it's all original, but like pistons and batteries everywhere. Mazinger, you have them like stripped down to some design concepts. Well, I think they might have done Big O, but I can't be certain. Someone
it's pretty
someone
popular.
correct me on that. But like Mazinger was a good long while ago, and I haven't seen a single ad for anything Ultimetal since then. So this is a little left field.
I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Ultimetal Optimus Prime battle damage, kind of a little bit lackluster, not going as far as I'd like it to go. But yeah, oh well, there you go. Maybe there's more that they just haven't shown in these images. Maybe further on down the line they'll show a bit more oomph to them. Let me check to see when it's out as well, because it doesn't say initially in this story. Apparently it's out in the first quarter. Shrug. So who knows? Whatever that means. It'll be from now until a certain time. Mikey, I want you to tell me about some more Sakamoto stories.
Yeah, well, over Christmas, there were a couple other comics that came out. A couple of them were not really worth talking about here. One of which, the Christmas special, the late Christmas present chapter it was called, is just, of course it is. But it needs to be talked about. But I will preface any comments with it is set before some of the stuff to come out, like the Perceptor one.
Yeah.
So this one is kind of interesting. Foreseeing the return of Overlord to the Legends world, Jinrai goes back to the G1 world and visit the 2nd Army headquarters, where he finds Perceptor upgrading the God Bomber armor. He's about to leave, and Perceptor gives him the Haywire Laser, which is modified at the request of White Leo, and transporting it to Beast to get it out of the grip of Decepticons, right?
Sure.
So he asks Jinrai to take it away and take it to the Legend world instead. And Jinrai goes, okay. Jinrai returns to working with Blur, because he works for Blur's transport company, apparently. Where things are very busy at the end of the year. Go, all the Christmas shopping, blah, blah, blah. And opens the door to show the laser to Blur, and they find a sleeping cat lady. That sleeping cat lady is White Loon, because Jinrai didn't know that the gun was a person.
It could have been worse. It could have been one of the human characters.
Yep, and she has master braces now.
Oh yeah, she does. Neat. That's cool.
That's not going to go well. Blur is fairly confused, calls up Perceptor going, what the hell? And, but during the explanation, she wanders off, and Jinrai tries to stop her, so she claws the fuck out of him.
I like the fact that the phone call to Perceptor just makes it look like he's going, I don't give a fuck.
I'm surprised he doesn't have his feet kicked up. Yeah, but Jinrai tries to stop her, and she's quite happy about it. It's not like she's running away, like, flipping out. She's like, la 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 la. Right. So, seeing as he's still supposed to be delivering her, Blur panics and puts up lost cat posters. He meets up with Hot Rod and my girl Xiao Xiao. And Hot Rod recognizes him, but instead of berating him, he's expecting. Apparently Hot Rod abandoned him years ago. Well, that must be in Kiss Players or something.
Yeah.
Blur and Hot Rod reunite, and then they are distracted by Scourge's sweep stealing Blowpipe, who I believe is Trigger Happy's.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right.
So yeah, because Trigger Happy is in here as well, and he's got his hat.
Yeah.
Got his hat. Having overheard Blur talking about the power of the Haywire laser, the sweeps plan to take it for themselves by using Blowpipe on sweep number 7, the deadliest sweep of all.
Is that actually legit?
Yeah, but I wanted to point out, like, creating a clone army of the sweeps.
Yeah, of the clones.
Clones of the sweep. And yet, it is officially sweep number 7, who is a BotCon original character, just so everyone knows.
Really?
Yes.
What makes him unique? Do you know offhand?
His character art had him smiling.
Oh, okay. Was that it?
Yeah, but I'm just double checking now because I remember because he was done from the Sideways mold.
Right.
Or whatever. Sweep 7 is the weapons expert, keeping them supplied with the most up-to-date hardware.
He also seems to have the ability to use dustbins as weapons. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
The deadliest bins of all. So now they got Blowpipe, they want White Loon because hey, upgraded cat lady gun is always a good thing. She bumps into Sue and is brought to Cup, and Cup and Sue are discussing about whether or not she can be a pet.
I had a feeling that was what was happening in those panels.
and like Sue was like, I want to keep it, and Cup's just chewing on his bolt or whatever it is. He's like, I don't know. Pet's a big responsibility.
We've got a shock to come. We don't need another thing. Jesus.
Yeah. Also, you're groping this one.
Yeah.
But the sweeps show up, and Cup tells them to run to safety. He'll fight them off. And as they run, White Loon laments that this is all happening because she ran away on a selfish whim, which is basically I want to assault a guy and then have some fun. Because she's always wanted to explore a world other than Beast. And Sue responds, she's also a runaway who's staying on the planet, and convinces her everything will be fine if they just return to Blur together. And we get an ass shot of the tiger lion lady.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a tail, so I'm like, that must be very uncomfortable for her.
You'd think so.
Because I'm just thinking, like, her bottoms like must be like pulling down on the tail to be pulled that far down that her ass is showing.
That might, yeah. Maybe there's
a
hole like, there. I don't know.
Hey, Mr. Sakamoto, sir. Maybe think about these designs before you do these things. Right. Since they can't pin down the fleeing White Loon, the sweeps think up another plan, which is to use catnip.
Oh, is that what that is?
They're using of silver vine smoke, which has an intoxicating effect on cat-type beasts all over the city, including Tigertron and Cheetor. And Octane shows up to note that he'd rather see a cute robot girl get drunk. Yes, because because like Tigertron's already a complete pervert, and I think he's going after White Loon, who is having a moment. It looks like, but Octane is basically like, we could just get RC drunk. RC, like, yeah.
Are these two like still trying to get their business off the ground? Because this set before?
I think this is before I think this is before the business idea.
Yeah, because, so they're trying to find a model.
Yeah, there's no sign of Trick Diamond.
Yeah.
But yeah. Scourge and sweeps locate White Loon, but as they try to capture her, Blur comes to the rescue, and she transforms into a laser, the Haywire laser. And Sue wants to help and calls for Cup, who runs into Hot Rod and Xiao Xiao, and everyone, gets together and they all have a big moment, and they're helped by Shuta and Wheelie, who are working with Blur part-time. And they all take out the target. They all take out Blowpipe and everyone else, and the sweeps are beaten, and everyone's naked for a few seconds. Basically, it's a bit chaotic. And then things get a little weird. In the aftermath, White Loon gets a job with Blur, and the sweeps are made by Megatron to hand out gifts to the children. Good man, Megatron. Good man. One of them is Leo Jr., who goes home to show his dad the Transformers toy he got, but nearby Leo Prime, from that one time multiple universes collided, is worried because the Majin is coming back, and that's leading into the Perceptor comic.
Oh, okay.
What toy did he get?
I can't tell. The image is too small. It might be Six Shot.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. I just liked that Megatron, right, you're going to go do Christmas presents for the children.
Yeah, community service. Fucking
And he
sweeps.
looked so pissed as well.
Yep.
Don't fuck with Mayor Megatron.
Though I think the sweep with the mustache looks like a better Santa than the sweep with the normal mustache.
Yeah. I think the one with the other mustache is the one you actually get as the toy.
Yeah, the original one is the one with the fancy mustache is the one that you got with the sweep, not the sweep. Sorry, the Sharkticon. That's right.
Is that number 7?
Maybe, I don't know.
They're hard to tell apart.
Let's say yes.
I also have just realized that they have numbers.
Yes, some of them have. Do they all have numbers? Because I didn't notice if all of them did. One does.
The clones don't, but the original sweeps do, I think.
Ah, okay. And again, we have when Xiao Xiao transforms, she does a karate kick.
Yeah, because Xiao Xiao.
Before turning into a gun, which is great.
Yeah, because she's amazing.
Yep.
So yeah, this is actually a pretty simple one, but it's quite fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was one of those ones that had warnings posted over it, I'm assuming because of the catnip scene.
Okay.
Which is pretty tame by anime standards, but hey ho, cultural differences. But yeah, this is fun. Like, it's a nice, simple little story. Like, I again want these translated, especially these days, because the end is nigh.
Yeah. I found this one to be very much like Die Hard. Like, it's set at Christmas, but incredibly loosely to do with Christmas.
So this is like the perfect Christmas comic, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it was a pretty good comic. It was fun.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best one, but yeah. And at least we know Luna is having fun on Earth, you know. She's not stuck on the Beast Planet anymore. She's been useful to Megatronia City or Megatron City, whatever this place is called.
My town.
Yeah, I like it. It's fun. Good times. Anything to say, Mikey, or should we move on?
Let's move on.
All right. Well, we've got some information on the Takara Tomy Japanese Power of the Primes Dinobots June and July releases, so you can probably guess what this is about. Yeah. Right. So the Japanese Power of the Primes Wave 2 that's set for June. This is what the wave is going to consist of. PP 10 to 15, and I'll just in this order. So first off, Alchemist Prime. Which one's Alchemist Prime? Do you know
the
offhand?
one that got drunk, I believe.
I meant the toy. Like, is it Cloudburst or something?
Oh, who knows?
Okay. So, no help. Dinobot Slug, then Swoop, Snarl, Sludge, and Grimlock. So, we're not getting them as a big pack, but at least they're all coming out as one wave, I guess. So, that's something, especially for the Japanese market. It's not like here in the West where we get 3 and then we've got to wait to the next wave to get the next 2, right? That's how it's working for us.
Yep.
Yeah. So for July, they have a lot less coming, but they've got Moonracer, Dreadwind, Blackwing, and Starscream together. That's kind of a better setup, because at least you get 2 limbs for Starscream to combine with.
Well, you get 3, I suppose, with Moonracer, but you're still...
She's an Autobot, though. Unless she's not. Maybe she's evil. I don't know.
Yeah.
A comic would help us know these things, Sakamoto.
Yeah, many things would help, because I think this is officially the nail in the coffin for any hopes for this line.
Why do you say that, Mr. Mikey?
This combined... There's been a little bit of speculation in the works, but this combined with both the preview images we've seen of Wave 1, which shown that they're identical down to the stickers, and comments made by Takara that the globalization of the line is very much in play, and it's very unlikely that there's going to be any differences between these and the US releases.
Boo!
Boo indeed. So, I think, I mean, we did have it good there for a while, since Prime, really.
Yeah, technically.
And I mean, like, nothing lasts forever, and I saw a weird thing where a few people were like, ha, take that, people who shops online. Haha.
What? Really?
Like, there was I saw several posts were just like, I don't want to be smug about you people who won't shop and who think you're better off shopping with Japan, but haha, you're not better off shopping with Japan.
What? That seems weird.
It is weird, but I'm very disappointed, not just because, I've been enjoying the comics immensely, but the original decos for the last couple of years have been the best versions of all of these figures.
I was some dip and some you could argue
Yeah.
are better than others.
Yeah, of course. But I don't think we're going to get the original molds or the heavy retooling that Japan was doing. I don't, we're not going to get a Megatronia, or I'd be amazed if we got something like Scourge again. Unless it's a convention exclusive, I don't know.
I can only hope that they'll still be doing Takara Mall stuff. Maybe that will have a little bit of hope.
I don't want the weirdness to go away. We just got the Street Fighter stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The weirdness is one of the big selling points. And it is a case where someone in Hasbro said, listen, we're losing X amount of money to people shopping internationally. We need to limit the international appeal, but that would be, I don't know.
Wouldn't that be really sad if that was the case?
One guy at Hasbro.
That would be so sad if it's we're losing to the Japanese market. So instead of upping our game or lowering our prices or doing something, we'll just ask them to not do as much. That would be bizarre. I did hear on TFW, Chris and some other people were suggesting that the quality on Power of the Prime stuff is better because there's more paint apps and stuff.
Only on certain figures. Once you get into the Voyagers and Leaders, you get fucked in terms of paint apps.
That's how it seemed to me. But
Starscream, Jesus Christ.
Oh dear.
And I am very much not in love with the clear plastic Dinobot thing that everyone else is flipping out about.
Yeah,
so
I would prefer solid plastic for those. Myself.
I would prefer a different design, but
yeah.
but I don't know. I don't know. Power of the Primes is a bit of a weird beast anyway, because it feels like they didn't. This is basically what we wanted to do a trilogy because people do trilogies. So our gimmick is we have all the gimmicks.
Yes, it's everything that we've done up to now, plus a few other random things like the Duocon.
Yeah, the Duocon is new, but the Prime Masters are basically just the Titan Masters.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
I mean, down to the fact they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
The Pretender Shells are the new bit, but they're basically just Target Masters.
Yeah.
We've got combiners.
Target Masters.
We've got several combiners. I'd be surprised if we don't get a couple of Headmasters in there. The Voyagers are all combiner torsos. The Leaders are the only ones I'd say are really new.
Yeah.
Properly new, but...
And we only know of 3 of them.
Yeah, I'm quite concerned that we're not... Because usually you get at least 5 molds. Not including repaints and everything else. And
even
retools.
for Leaders.
Yeah. You usually get one original lead, not always, but usually get one original leader per wave, or one heavily retooled leader per wave.
Okay, yeah, I can accept that one.
Yeah, because you had Titan's Return, you had Optimus Blaster,
Soundwave,
Sky Shadow, Overlord. There were
6 shot.
6 shots. That's 4 molds and at least as many retools.
Yeah.
So, especially once you get into the Japan side of things, because we've got Great Shock coming and stuff like that. But
if you wanted to include stuff like that, we do have Quick Switch from America.
Yeah.
Do you want to include him? Do you want it?
He's not a retool, though. He's just a straight repaint.
Yeah. No, he has a different face. Yay.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm gonna keep on hoping. I think what's really getting me is that Power of the Primes, more than any of the other lines, is so G1 referential. So all aggressively G1 referential.
Apart from Primal.
Apart from Primal. And even then, it looks like he's going to be a pretty, inverted commas, G1 version of his Optimal Optimus design.
Wouldn't it have been better if we had a Star Saber? Yes, I'm bringing that back up again.
No, it would have been
Or
better if it had Saurus.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you know
that'd be the ultimate goal, but...
We've got, we'll say we've got 2 more leader spots. If you give it to anyone else after the fan vote made it clear we want one, I'm not happy. Especially considering how quickly you designed Optimus Primal.
I love the idea that it's like, we did Hound!
Oh, I would not be a happy camper.
Leader Hound. But no one wanted him. We did Leader Hound. That's what
He was on the list.
He was on the list.
Do you know, I could see us getting Thunderwing out of Sky
I'd be
Shadow.
okay with that.
I'd be okay with it. I wouldn't want one, but I'd be okay with it.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't be thrilled, but yeah.
I don't know. Power of the Prime's right. I'm definitely interested in picking up some of the molds, but the aesthetics are just they're aimed at someone very different from me, you know? Because I don't want a posable G1 toy. I made that very clear with the clones, but that's one of the reasons I was really hoping for the Japan side, because that was where I thought things would get interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think some of the molds are pretty good, but the aesthetics are not working for me. But I'm still going to pick up Jazz because it's hilarious. But
hang on, why are you picking up Jazz?
For one reason and one reason only.
Okay.
I need to get a first run Jazz before they all get pulled.
That's right. Yeah, because of his interesting stickers.
Yep.
Well, I've made my thoughts clear. I want Dreadwing and Dark Wind. Those guys, Blackwing and Dreadwind. There we go. We'll see for the Terracons. I don't want any of the Dinobots. I don't want Jazz at all. Maybe Moonracer, because it's a lady. But that would literally be the only reason, I think.
I saw some people say she might get redone into Rung.
I hope not. Because I don't think that would be right.
Well, she's got the frame, and people are saying they see hints in her design.
I guess, but Rung isn't a car.
No, he's a nothing.
No, yeah, he makes those little jelly babies or whatever he does.
Yeah, but that's not what does he turn into?
Oh, we don't know. Well, a drill, right?
No, he didn't. No, don't get me. I'm going to get started. It's like, you're going to find out what Rung turns into. No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Don't you lie. I don't know. Maybe like the wave 4 and 5 will show some more interesting things, because I do think the battle trap is super interesting. That's probably
battle trap is
that's the most
cool.
unique thing I think that we've been shown.
I love the fact it's 2 original robot designs as well.
Yeah. It's they're not like standout blow you shit kind of. Oh my god, these are amazing. But you combine them together and you go, oh, well, all right then.
They're pretty.
There
cool.
you go. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Mikey, we'll move on to something that we kind of briefly talked about last week, but now we actually have images of it, which is Ironhide. Masterpiece.
Masterpiece Ironhide. At the Hong Kong Toys and Game Fair 2018, they had quite a few Transformers stuff. Apparently Optimus Primal and a lot of the Power of the Prime stuff were on display, but, no photos allowed for those bits.
Boo.
Boo indeed. But the masterpieces for the movie line were visible, the new ones. So we got to see Bumblebee, we got to see Barricade, and we got to see Ironhide, which is interesting in that he is so wee compared to what I was expecting.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're doing that for price point stuff.
I think they went for scale in the vehicle mode, and then just they couldn't make it work when they went over to robot mode, so he ended up being unusually short.
I guess this is why people usually go for robot and then do vehicle for scaling.
But masterpiece, who can tell?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so following on from that, we got official pictures of MPM6 Ironhide, which showed he comes with his guns. The guns, I think, they're very visible in his vehicle mode in all the pictures, but it looks like they can be removed. He's got loads of articulation. He's got an openable mouth.
His little cow face.
He's highly, highly detailed, and people have shown him next to character art and concept art and CGI images, and he is about 99% on the ball.
Yeah.
Looked like he's got articulated fingers. Like, it looks like they went to a lot of effort on him.
Oh, the fingers look awful. I've got to say those articulated fingers look garbo.
Yeah, but the design looks garbo in the fingers.
Do they? Is that what they? Does his hand look like a little trowel though? Because that's kind of how it's coming across.
Yes, it does pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, I suppose maybe that works for his cow look. Maybe he digs up the ground and, I don't know, eats grass or something. I do like the image of his mouth open, because it's just the image before that is it closed and then he's just bah!
What a weird feature to put in.
It is, but they gave it to Barricade, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, I think yeah. If you look at the Barricade image on the story from the Hong Kong show, you can see his little mouth is just slightly open.
But that's weird too.
It is. Bumblebee's doesn't, because he doesn't have a mouth. So
why are who is sitting down there and saying, right, for these things we need to work in some key features. I want them to gurn.
Why do we need them to have mouths? So they can kiss. Make them kiss. And then
Barricade and Ironhide's love will cross factions.
Let them kiss. Let them kiss. No, we must stop them. Yeah, exactly. Let them kiss. That'd be great. I need that line. I will say, just briefly on the Barricade, you know how we had issues with his blue? Mm. His blues aren't nearly as in your face and like super luminous as they seem to be in the promo art. They're still a bit egregious, but they're not nearly as oh Jesus Christ as I thought they were. I mean,
it's definitely improved.
Yeah. It's still, I'm not 100% thrilled with it, but, I think it's better.
But, yeah. So, I mean, I think he's neat. I mean, I'm not really into Ironhide just because he's one of the designs I think aged poorly.
One of the designs?
One of the designs that aged poorly. I don't think they all aged poorly, but I think his especially did. Basically, anyone in the first movie generally suffered for it because those designs weren't very great. And no power on this earth will ever convince me otherwise. And they were like the Transformers at their absolute bittiest.
Yeah, definitely.
Where it was like, we need to make it look like completely realistic about how every bit moves and 10,000 moving pieces, isn't it amazing? And I'm just like,
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Could that money be spent in giving him more screen time?
Sorry, that what, Mikey?
Money?
Oh, you fucked up.
Oh, no.
Oh, Mikey.
Oh, no, Andy.
Oh, Mikey.
Andy, no. No more.
There's you go. There's you go.
I don't do it for every time I say the word.
Damn it. That needs to be your thing. Ironhide I don't think looks too bad. Like you say, the guns are not hidden, but then again, they are very large, fat guns anyway, so I'm not too fussed that they're not better disguised. I mean, if they're really egregious to you, I hope you can just kind of pull them off, which you probably can. Yeah, he looks like a cow dude, so that's cool. Yeah, if you're into Ironhide, you're probably pretty pumped about this, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'll very quickly cover the next story as well, because it just confirms something. Oh. Hasbro and Activision have officially announced that they are going their separate ways. Their contract has expired. Multiple mobile games are still ongoing, but the PC and console games are no longer in the works. That's why they were all getting pulled from the networks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know. I don't know if that means Hasbro's going with someone else, or if maybe Transformers games are going on the back market. Or not black market, back burner for a bit. Hey kid, you want to buy a video game?
You
want to play as Optimus Prime?
Hell yeah, dude.
Just opens his shirt. He's got like Fall of Cybertron all the way down. I've got Optimus Prime for days.
I've got a really bad image now of like Hasbro handing over the license to EA and them just flooding it with loot boxes.
To be fair, like, if things continue the way they're going, they won't be able to, because they'll get sued for selling gambling to children.
Oh god, I hope so. I hope
EA gets the fucking shit kicked out of it.
Same.
Because, and please, like, just to have a mind, because it's a bit of a ranty episode for me. Do not come up to me and say, well, the gaming market isn't what it used to be and they need to make money somehow.
No, that's bullshit. They don't need to. They're not underfunded. They make fucking loads of money. They put out an article saying to their investors that it wasn't a big deal that they had to stop the loot box system in Star Wars. it didn't affect the shareholders at all, so that's bullshit.
The gaming market is arguably the largest media market on the fucking planet at the moment. The only thing that really... like, old TV and stuff, yeah. But in terms of individual sales, money going directly from the consumer to the company, very few markets have the kind of monopoly the video game market has. And it's just growing constantly.
And let's pretend, Mikey, that was the case and they couldn't make enough money from their games. What you need to then do is you need to figure out how to make money and not add these bullshit features in. So learn how to do your job better. Yeah. You know, like reduce costs in other areas. Don't spend fucking millions on advertising, which they do. A lot of companies spend a fuck ton on advertising for no good reason. I don't know.
But that's just like, and the stuff they like, it wasn't just that they put in the feckin' loot boxes. One, it is a progression system. It's not tied to the progression system. It is. Yeah. And to every time they've done this, they've done it in a way that made sure it's like key components of the game are removed. Like people get up in arms about DLC, like extra levels or extended context or extra characters or whatever. I can handle that. Like,
I think it depends, though. I think it depends if it's clearly being cut from the game.
Oh yeah. But if it's something
just
like
additional stuff, then yeah, sure, whatever.
Like the fighters, the Dragon Ball Fighter stuff that they're doing, and they say like, Super Saiyan Blue is a DLC. I don't know if it's DLC or just early unlock, but pay a little bit extra and get this blue version of the main characters.
With slightly different moves, but yeah. I know what you're saying.
I'm not really, it's not like you're saying Goku and Vegeta are not available in the game unless you pay up first. Yeah. Like, they're in the game. It's just, hey, you want a slightly different moveset and a different color? Yeah. Okay, cool. Like, this kind of loot box, actual gambling bullshit that is basically, I don't know. It's a mobile system, but it's a mobile system done really scummily.
Yeah, definitely. Because you have to pay for it as well, a lot. You have to pay like £60 $60 for it before you can then give them even more money.
To quote a man, I have paid you for the game. Why am I not getting the game?
No, you're getting the trial. You're getting the demo disc. That's what you're paying for.
Yeah, and that's why no power on dessert would make me buy an EA game ever again.
Yeah, I can't see myself rushing for EA stuff myself either.
For the most part, it's stuff I don't care about as well, so that helps. But
yes, definitely.
Like EA Sports, Andy.
No, Mikey. EA Big. It's in the game.
Yeah. In the game. It's apparently we're told it is. I'm not sure I believe them.
It used to be. It's not anymore. That's why that's why there's no EA Big. But anyway, we should move on and talk about Transformers stuff, as we have IDW More Than Meets the Eye / Lost Light Megatron's alt mode revealed for the first time, I think, by, of course, the one and only Mr. Alex Milnedeska. So we finally saw the Megatron tank mode, the hover tank thingamabob. We also saw a really fucking sinister looking star drive.
Yeah, Alex's design for Wraith Star Drive.
Oh, is that Wraith Star Drive?
That is her post Wraith, and apparently the idea is that her out of control rage mode is malleable. Like it's not like a set design.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
depending on the situation and whatnot. But yeah, she's got a lot of claws.
Yeah, I like it. The kind of jokery in a way. I'm looking at the face when I say that, of course. And then there's the other more out of control Guyver version, I guess.
Yeah, the thing that gets me is that the bit on her back, it looks like it's almost made of teeth. I mean, I don't think that's the design choice, but it sort of splits when she changes. And that's something I see in like a lot of anime, and I never like it. I never like it in the sense it makes me very uncomfortable.
Maybe that's the point.
Do you think?
More or less uncomfortable than Made in Abyss.
This doesn't go on for 7 minutes.
There you go.
7 screaming minutes.
It's a great time. It's a good show.
Good show. Very good show.
Yeah. What do you think of the Megatron tank?
Very logical. Highly logical.
Better or worse than the jet mode that Mastermind Creation developed?
I remain astounded. Like, I still want that toy for the robot modes, but I remain astounded that they looked at that Megatron and they thought, jet, And also we're going to make him turn into a jet drill for mining.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you look at Alex's design, and it's just like, and this is that part, and this is that part, there's his chest, there's his foot, there's his shoulder, there's that bit from his back, there, blah, blah, and it's all very logical.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm just like, you wouldn't have gotten the same design, but you could have bullshitted your way through it.
And you know, the treads
Yeah.
on the jet mode.
Yeah, why are there threads on the jet mode?
I can only imagine when Alex saw the Mastermind Creation version, he saw the robot and went, that looks good. And then he saw the alt mode and went, no.
No, it's just like, he just got up, walked away from his table, and just walked out the door, walked down the street, just walked for a while.
Flipped the car.
Yep. One-handed as well.
Not angrily.
Just, yeah. I don't know why I'm doing this.
There it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would recommend people go check out that stuff because I think it's always interesting to see character designs and all that kind of jazz. It's an interesting part of the process. Mikey, do you want to take us on to some audio stuff for some Transformers woo-woo?
Yes. So, 2 bits of related news. The Transformers Generation 1 Season 4 fan-restored soundtrack is now available online. This is part of the ongoing project of restoring the entire G1 musical soundtrack to its former glory. It was Patreon-sponsored, and it is quite an achievement. Quite an achievement. The guys working on this have done some scary stuff, to be completely honest. This is for the Rebirth, which is, of course, the Headmasters, Target Masters, and everything else. And included in this is a bonus Nemesis 3 track, which was originally intended to be part of the Season 1 collection, but wasn't ready in time. All these soundtracks are available at TFCog, where you find a bunch of fan dubs and things. But, so that's tfcog.com. I think this is great. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the G1 soundtrack in terms of just, like, listening to it as music. But I think the amount of effort these guys have done to make a really high-quality product is just astounding.
Definitely,
They deserve nothing but credit.
They maybe deserve a bit of money and funding because, you know, it's worth it.
Yes, and they had to buy much equipment for this, I remember.
I like the idea that Mikey's just like, looks at all the Patreon donations, just like, you don't deserve that. You deserve thanks. And nothing more.
I'm giving him a firm pat on the back. The other thing this week was Transformers at the Moon have released more unused audio from the Generation 1 cartoon. This time around, 8 minutes of a recording session for Plague of Insecticons. This was, of course, the Insecticons debut episode. Lots of dialogue, apparently a good line from Brawl insulting Rumble. And a lot of direction from the late, great Wally Burr, guiding the production of some B-dialogue, eating sounds, comeback sounds, and similar. I think these are great, but I don't really listen to them, I have to admit. But it's a wonderful little resource. And if you want to see what the behind the scenes stuff was like, and if Wally Burr was quite as mad as some people suggested, check it out. I mean, Andy, do you ever listen to these?
To be honest, not usually. There's no particular reason why. Well, no, there is, because I'm more of a visual guy than an audio guy. So if this stuff had like some storyboards to go along with it, I'd be more inclined to watch them.
Yeah. In that case, take us on.
Sure. Just a little bit of news here, as even more 2018 Transformer toy listings: Dash, Bumblebee, the movie, Cyber Battalion, and more. So we have a few listings here from... Does it say where is it from? No, not particularly. It says it's from a few things.
www.acdd.com.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be like from an actual toy website, but no. So Cyber Battalion, which has got in brackets the Evergreen branding, which we've talked about before, which seems to be the Cyberverse stuff, but not called that. So we got Cyber Battalion Sideswipe at $14.99 and Cyber Battalion Shockwave at, again, the same price. So
I'm not crazy about those prices.
Can we assume that these are deluxes?
No, these are going to be like the Optimus, Bumblebee, Megatron, Starscream, and Grimlock we've seen.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Oh dear.
It's the same brand, which means those are not $15 toys.
And they don't look it.
I mean, unless there's some really heavy engineering in there that I'm not seeing, but... I think that's a buy on sale moment, which is a shame because I like the aesthetic.
I wasn't a fan of it, so it's okay by me, I suppose.
Super curious what they're doing for a Shockwave.
Yeah. Are we going tank? Are we going like Transformers Prime Shockwave?
Bunny Rabbit.
I did see someone, they were doing like a top 5 triple changes, and number 5 was the Shockwave from Super Link, and I was like, wow, really?
What?
Yeah.
Where he turned from into...
Yep.
I mean, was he a triple changer in that?
Well, he turned into a satellite. He had a satellite mode, and he had a tank mode, and a robot mode.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
he had a robot doing the splits and a robot lying down.
Yeah.
With wheels. And this was one of the... I want to hear the whole list. So he was number 3, was he?
No, 5. He was number 5.
5.
Yeah.
Okay, so who was number 4?
I can't. I'll go from I'll go from 1 because I remember that was Springer, the Generation Springer and Sandstorm. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Number 2, I think, was G1 Blitzwing. Yeah. Number 3 was G1 Astro Train. That's right. And number 4 was Titan's Return Astro Train.
Fuck off!
Yeah.
I forgot that toy.
Yeah,
Are you fucking insane?
I remember starting the list, and it started with those two, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, because they're not very good toys. I think the logic behind the Astro Train was because...
It's Astro Train?
Well, it looks like Astro Train for a robot mode. It looks like a shuttle. And
No, it doesn't.
No, it kind of looks like a shuttle. It looks like a spacey kind of shuttle. It looks like something that would fly, sort of, in like season 3. I don't have a defense for why they chose it for the train mode though, because the train mode's a bit trashy. So
the train mode trashy. It's a robot doing this that you split in half.
Yeah,
that you cover up the robot bits and just go, "Don't look at me."
Lots of splits with triple changes. Anyway, we're off topic. Back to
Jesus Christ! I'd have put the Megatron in there if you were just going with that kind of like really recent stuff.
Which Megatron?
The Titan's Return Megatron. It's way better.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, he turns into.
And I'd put him before the Blitzwing because I think he looks better.
Right. So Bumblebee the movie, we have the roleplay mask Optimus Prime, Energon Igniter's Optimus Prime, and Energon Igniter's Striker. Optimus the mask and the Optimus Prime Igniter are both $9.99, and Striker that's STRYKRE. Like X-Men Striker.
I was going to say, is he after Wolverine again?
Perhaps. He's, yeah. Second movie. Was
Good
one
movie.
of the best X-Men ones until Logan came out. Logan's
I'd
way
still
better.
say one of the best X-Men ones.
X-Men, sure. But if we're talking about ones that focus on Wolverine, which is all of them.
No, not the best, but one of the best.
Okay, yeah, I'll go for that.
Yeah.
It's not as good as Wolverine Origins, of course.
I prefer the Wolverine to it, I'll say, but...
There's lovely CG claws. The Wolverine's all right. It's
fun.
It's a fun romp through Japan, as I called it.
Yeah, it is. And then he fights a samurai because, of course, he does.
Yeah. So I guess like who's Striker? That's the real question.
New baddie, I'm assuming.
Maybe it will be
Which is-
Striker from X-Men, which will be the new baddie.
I think just Barricade.
That would be sad.
Just comes out and it's just Barricade, and like he looks exactly like he always has, and it's just like, hey, Barricade Striker.
That'd be super sad, super disappointing.
I'd love it. And then he leaves halfway through the movie.
Well, that's the thing. That's always the thing.
Everywhere. In these things, everyone's got a signature move, and Barricades is that he is a ghost.
Yeah, get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah. That's
it. We've got Studio Series Voyager Class Revenge of the Fallen Megatron, which we've seen. That's going to be $30. Is that a good price in America? I think that's okay for a Voyager.
Standard Voyager.
Right? Yeah, that's standard Voyager.
Now, as far as I know.
Yeah, and Brawl is the same price again. And then Project Storm. Generations Project Storm, Storm 1 and Storm 2, both are effectively $10. Mikey, what is Project Storm?
I don't know.
Okay.
$10, so it makes me think Legends class of some
or something.
sort?
Yeah, something like that.
Gen Project Storm, maybe it's flywheels.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I'd be okay with that, I guess. That makes sense. Shall I take us on to another story that was an up-and-coming figure?
Yeah, sure.
Because, Mr. Mikey, Generations Power of the Primes Deluxe Repugnus coming in 2018. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems like the appropriate response.
I'd say so. There's a listing apparently of $9.99, which we were talking about. I think it's that one just there. But given the current going rate of deluxes, starting special editions, we can expect it to probably be closer to the $20 mark.
Yeah.
Assuming this is going to be assuming it's not going to be part of the Power of the Primes line and it's going to be a special edition. We don't know. It wouldn't be super surprising if Repugnus did come out, just because, we had that statement from the team saying that they wanted to do everybody. So it kind of makes sense that they'd finally get around and do all of them. If it did come out in the official line for Power of the Primes, I think it would be slightly annoying, and only because if you wanted the full team, you'd need to go and get, Grotesque, who at that point might be a pain in the ass to find.
He's probably a pain in the ass to find now, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. He's not the best to find at the moment, so who knows? But this was all news via the distributor ACD Distributions, and they reported that they have a new deluxe class Repugnus figure coming to them in the not too distant future. Obviously, they didn't say when, but there you go. What do you think of the idea of a proper Repugnus, Mikey? Since we already technically have a Repugnus from the Titans Return line as a head.
Yeah, but we've got a Brawl and a Brawn, so I'm happy enough.
That's true.
But yeah, I think it's cool. I'm assuming it's just going to be another retool of the same mold, but hey, we got the Decepticon Target Masters all out of the same guy, so why not?
Yeah, and they look different enough.
Yeah, so I'm really, really curious. Grotesque was, from what I understand, has turned out pretty damn well. Double Cross shouldn't be too hard to find, or whatever, Twinferno, whatever you want to call him. So yeah, I think maybe it's a bit of a kick in the teeth that you can't build them all in the same line, which means going back and getting either of the other two is going to be a bit of a hassle. Well, like I said, Twinferno, probably not, but Grotesque is... excuse me, my voice is going. Grotesque is going to be a bit of a... I'd be surprised if you'll get him for under $40. But yeah, so I think he'll be... Yeah, I just hope he's not crazy prices to pick up, and I hope people who want all three can get them.
Yeah, I imagine, like you say, Grotesque will be the hardest one to get, just because he's not the simplest to get at the moment. The Japanese market might be screwed, and maybe... Here's a question. Do you think the Japanese are going to get any kind of release for Grotesque? Or not at all? You
know what? If you'd asked me a month ago,
yeah,
I would have given you a different answer to what I give now.
Yeah,
but no, I would be surprised right now.
Because that'd be sad if that would be sad if they got Repugnus and they've already got Twinferno Double Cross. So for them not to get a Grotesque would be a bit shitty for them. But who knows? Who knows? It might be fine. It might not be. We'll see, I guess. Any other thoughts then, Mikey, on Repugnus? Or shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Go on then, Mikey. Take us away with another story.
Yeah, so, for those of you who weren't aware, this week, Titans Return ended. The Machinma web series had its final episode. We actually thought we had one more to go, but it all wound up. And it ended on El Cliffhanger.
Woo.
Did you watch it during the week, Andy?
I did. I want to save our thoughts and, in quotations, review on it for another episode.
Yes, I have many things to say.
Yeah.
many things.
So many.
So, almost ludicrous amounts considering I've already done a show on Combiner Wars.
Aye.
So it's been confirmed that the final part of the Prime Wars trilogy, Power of the Primes, will be released in the second quarter of 2018, so it's not that far away at all. And they've confirmed several things, which is expansions to the cast and returning characters. We seemingly have a full cast, no sign of Optimus or anyone else, but our Fortress Maximus is another one I think is rather noticeably absent. But new characters coming in. Ron Perlman is going to be playing Optimus Primal. The internet is pissed.
Okay.
The internet is very pissed. Gary Chalk is all I'm hearing. Is it why not Gary Chalk? Why not Gary Chalk?
Because Gary Chalk's too good to do this. But then again, so is everybody else who you're going to talk about.
Apparently, well, like there's union issues because Gary is situated in Canada and Los Angeles, and it does cost more to get in Canadian voice actors to work in American projects.
That makes sense.
But the other thing was, how did they get Ron Perlman? Why would Ron Perlman be on this? And my response was very just quietly, they paid him money.
What?
You see, he gets offered money to do a job, and then he does it. It's not like he goes, my God, this animation is atrocious. You've offered me how many million? Well, it's certainly not enough for Ron Perlman in this situation. And then British is off. Also up is Jamie King, who will be playing Solus Prime. Jamie is done a fair bit of on-screen acting. The only prominent voice role I can find for her is she played Luce, a Nice Sister, Aurora Singh, Customs Droid, Cassie Cryer, and Muck Muck Monkey in Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Okay.
But she's done a lot of TV work. Kitchen Confidential, The Worst Week of My Life, The Class, Gary Unmarried. She's done a lot of movies where she's Red Tails, where she was a voice role. Fanboys, My Bloody Valentine, Escape Plan 2, which is coming out this year. True Life, Cheaper by the Dozen. Nothing. Oh, she was in Pearl Harbor as Nurse Betty Bear, where she was credited as James King.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got Greg Berger is confirmed. If you need me to tell you who Greg Berger is, why are you listening to this?
Is he playing Long Haul?
He could very well be playing Long Haul. It's not confirmed, but Long Haul he's the only one with an actual model.
Yeah, it's true.
Him and he's one of the only 3 of the Constructicons with actual models, and he talked before.
Did he? Who voiced him
briefly
then?
when Menasor leaned on his head?
Really? Oh,
he did.
Who voiced him then?
I think it was Frank Todaro.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, Greg is confirmed to play both Grimlock and Volcanicus. So a combiner component will talk. We'll actually have like a named voice actor. But yeah, Volcanicus is confirmed. We'll see. Oh, Jesus Christ. New fellow Joel Shanao.
Better you than me.
Otherwise known as Samoa Joe from WWE, will be playing Predaking. On a whim, I watched a bit of Samoa Joe. That sure was WWE acting.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are really excited by that. But and Mikey Way will be playing Snarl, which means that I think basically they're going Dinobots. We've got to give them lines, or else there will be a war. This is his first voice role. He is the bassist for My Chemical Romance. I don't even know what his voice sounds like.
Singer, whiny, mopey.
No, he's not a singer. He's a bassist. He's the guy in the background who's just his voice is always overdone by the main frontman.
I wonder why you'd have that guy. I mean, maybe they're good, but why?
Mark Hamill, for anyone who doesn't know, Mark Hamill shows up at the end of Titan's Return, is playing Megatronus. And again, it was like, how did they get Mark Hamill? How? It's just like, they gave him money. They gave him money, child. He didn't get involved in Avatar just because he thought it was an artistic masterpiece, which it was. But Will Wheaton will be returning as Perceptor. Oh, Jesus. Judd Nelson, the world's laziest hobo, will be back as the character of Rodimus Kron.
Yay. Great
Rodimus
name. Rolls right off the tongue.
Kron. Oh, if you'd seen the look in my face when I first read that. But yeah, Carrie Walgreen will be playing Victorian again. Yeah, she's been in Rick and Morty, Fairly Odd. She's quite prominent these days. Jason Manocha will be playing Megatron. Thank Christ. I've been waiting for them to recast him this whole time, and I've been living in horror. Because they're dickheads. And yeah, he does Bat in the Sun, and he does Young Justice Abridged, where he plays the Joker. But yeah, so I ain't complaining. Still the best part of this show by a country fucking mile. Abby Trott is back as Windblade. Apparently, she's gone on to do a lot of video game voice acting since she started all this.
Oh, cool.
Patrick, yeah, so good for her. I think she's quite talented. I just think she's got terrible voice direction. But that is a complaint that you are going to be hearing a lot about one day, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Me and voice direction.
Yeah.
Patrick Seitz, who played Devastator in Combiner Wars, loads of video games, loads of anime, Era Gamagori, or Gamagori Era as it is pronounced correctly said. Well, actually, it's professionally shouted screamingly while standing over short people, but I can't do that. Who's playing Foghorn Leghorn, otherwise known as Overlord? I have so many questions I'd like to ask him. Rob Dyke is playing Devastator. Dashi Games is back as Menasor. Matt Pat is Swoop. He previously played Computron.
Yep.
But he's not listed as Computron for this.
No.
And Frank Tadaro is playing Sludge. Interesting. No look out for poor old Slug.
Hmm.
It's because his name is a swear word when it's said properly. But yeah, apparently Frank Tadaro has been doing video games. I think that's great. Nice to see a fan get involved professionally. But
yeah.
Yeah, like some notable absences, no sign of Metroplex, no sign of Fortress, no sign of Optimus. People who've seen the episodes may have comments on why, but my comment is, do you really think any of that matters? I have seen legitimately someone say this is the best piece of Transformers animation since Beast Wars, and it is so wonderful to see. But I was curious because I stumbled upon that, right? And I was like, what? Why would you say that? But the name was familiar to me.
Right.
And I couldn't remember why. And then I remembered, because the first week it was out, I saw the same guy going how Neo Yokio was the best piece of anime ever created.
Oh my god.
Sincerity.
Must be trolling. Has to be trolling.
This person had... No, he's... I checked. He went on about it for a very long time. He got very angry when people told him that Neo Yokio was shit.
Oh my god.
So I think we found someone who literally has the power of no taste.
Someone had to have it. Someone has to have that. You know, someone has to bear that power.
Yep, but yeah, so that is the up-and-coming cast for Power of the Primes. It's only a few months away, surprisingly. It might actually come out while the line is still on shelves. But Andy, I mean, how excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
Is this a scale below below 0? I was gonna say below 10, and obviously it is the below 10.
We're doing well this week.
We are.
Doing well.
Yeah, I'm not excited at all. We will talk about Timeless Return. But
yes.
I think from our first episode where we talked about it, that very first one, neither of us were positive, and I don't think it improved at all. So
the last week I have become like, I actually have like this thing where people say, well, it's better than Combiner Wars, and I'm now like, no, it's not. It's just bad in different ways.
See, I'm looking forward to talking to you about that. But yeah, it doesn't make me excited at all, especially because it's coming out so soon. It's good that at least it should be, in theory, out for the fucking toy line. But it means that they're not going to improve anything. No,
it means it's already made.
Yeah,
or at least it's almost... all the lines and dialogue are recorded, at least. The 5 people working on their 1990s Windows laptops, because, you know, those big chunky ass things that came out that they didn't even work, they just played Pong.
Yeah.
Like, as they're making graphics on that and doing it in the week before the shows come out, they're probably not at work yet, but the voices are probably all recorded. I don't think Mark Hamill's coming back.
To be fair, though, you mock those computers, but those computers probably have the decent version of Skype on them.
Yeah.
So, you know, they've got that going. Shall I move us on to our last story then, Mr. Mikey, and close us up?
Yeah, I do.
Right, so this is very quick, because, Mikey, news.
News!
Shocking news, as we find out James Roberts is attending TF Nation 2018. The writer of More Than Meets the Eye, Last Stand of the Wreckers, and currently Lost Light, is going to be heading to Birmingham around the 17th to the 19th of August, the Hilton Birmingham Metropole down in England, along with Stan Bush and DC Duggaris. He'll be joining us too, so yeah, that's cool. I wonder how long until we hear Nick's coming.
Yeah, they're a week and a half, I'd say. Maybe
more.
I'll give it 2 weeks.
Okay. I'm surprised it wasn't announced the same day as James, but
no, they have to. They'll stretch it out. Like JPB will be about a week after that.
Right.
Then it gets a bit more iffy because I don't know if Sarah and Alex will come over this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will.
But when Sakamoto announcement? That's what I want.
Yeah.
Legit.
He was nice. Bring him back. Maybe he's learned some English. We can have a chat.
I want more artwork.
Draw me things.
Draw me things that I like.
But yeah,
we're
taking
pimp
the piss.
misfire.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah. But we're taking the piss. But yeah, if you've never met James, like the guy has a lot to say on a lot of things, and you're certainly going to come away a lot more informed about the nature of Lost Light than you were going into it.
Yes.
And yeah, he's a great convention guest. It's just like announcing James is attending a UK Transformers convention is like announcing that it's going to rain. We all know it's coming.
Just
so
when
the shock would be like if they just had a big sign, "No, James is allowed." You are not welcome.
Ballsy and impressive.
He'd still show up, but they wouldn't like pay him convention fees and all that. But what if like getting Stan Bush meant they could had to cut one guest, and it was just like pick Nick or James? Who do you let go?
I don't know. I suppose Nick, really, since James is technically working on current stuff. Right, that makes sense.
Just chase Nick out of the hotel with a stick every time he tries to come back in.
Throw eggs at him. God damn it, Nick. That's all of our news for this week, Mr. Mikey. So, as ever, the question is, what have you been up to this week? Have you done some fun things? Have you got some fun things? I know you have, Mr. Big Spender, Mr. Moneybags, as we all say.
Yeah, yes, the money I spent this week was astronomical. People are weird. It's a weird world. Anyway, what have I done? I have watched a Kamen Rider movie.
Oh, yes.
I watched Kamen Rider Zeta, True Ending. And you have to say it like that because they put a lot of emphasis on the ending. True ending. So this is the weirdly timed, when it was originally done, sort of finale movie to the Kamen Rider X8 series. Takes place a few days after the end of the show. And is basically a girl has game disease, and then everyone gets put into a VR world, and things get weird. And a man goes around screaming, "I am God!" And it's not the guy you think.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, how do I... written by the show writer, Takahashi Yuya, and directed by a guy who was very prominent in the Wizard days. Which leads to my comment. I feel like half the movie's missing.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of bits where it feels like there's jumps in logic and scene structure and everything. Like, just like... I feel like there was a scene in between explaining how this character is now working with this character or involved with this character.
No.
And I feel like they were cut out. I feel like, not a director's cut, I think there's a writer's cut out there somewhere. Because I feel like either the director or the producer said this needs to be an hour long.
Yeah.
And he's just like, but I wrote an hour and a half long.
Oh, it's only an hour?
It's only an hour. It's not even like, because like a lot of Rider movies don't pass an hour, but the best ones tend to hit like hour 15, hour 20.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping it was going to be.
Yeah, but like it feels like there's about 20 minutes of stuff that should be in there that would explain things. Because the scenes that are there are well done. The core is all there. But the way it's structured is just like, Paradox is barely in it.
Boo. Well, he's got his own movie coming up, so that's fine.
Genom is in it a fair bit, but we do not have a moment of someone going, "I am God," and then him going, "Kamida." Because the guy saying it is saying it in English. So we do get a bit like I'm the true God, but I wanted him just like, no, you're not God, I'm God. But he does have some good moments.
You wanted the God off, basically.
Just the two of them shouting at each other. But he has some good moments like, "You should save the people, save everyone, and fuck up his game. Fuck it up. Let me out of prison, I'll help you. I'll do nice things. I'm not creepy." And it ends in him going like, "I've made the ultimate game!" And he's just like, set up. The action, oh wow, could you tell it was directed by someone from the days where the action was not phenomenal. It's not as bad as the Super Sentai crossover movie that happened during X8, but it ain't up to the standard of either the show or the other ancillary material. Like, it's just, I feel like there's a really good movie that someone walked in and started literally just ripping chunks out of. And it's a bit of a shame, I have to admit. There's a really nice bit with Brave and Tattle Legacy that I really enjoyed. But yeah, it's a little bit of a disappointment, but on the other hand, they can't all be gems. And
and it is a movie, I suppose.
Yeah.
So
X8 had a lot of good material. And it's I checked, it's a completely different director working on the Another Ending trilogy.
Okay, so that might be better then. And
it is the show writer as well, so.
Oh, even better. So yeah, it'll probably be a lot better, one would hope.
Yep, so hopefully looking good. But yeah, I liked how they handled the movie exclusive form. I will say the cameo from Build, which is setting up for the Rider War movie, or the Heisei Generation movie, whatever it is. In concept, it's probably the best one because it's after the credits, which means it doesn't affect the movie at all.
Good.
But it is a very... Again, it doesn't feel like it was written by this writer. It feels like it was done by someone who was doing like a 2011, 2012 movie where the new writer shows up and makes everyone else look shit. Because Build in his Gorilla Diamond form kicks the shit out of Paradox.
Really? He decides to use that? That really dates when the show takes place because he hasn't fucking used that form since like the first 3 episodes.
Well, I suppose like this came out before the first 3 episodes, so. But yeah, like Paradox level 99 goes up against him and he gets the... And I know, like everyone, like movie logic and everything else, but on the other hand, when you know how powerful the character is, and then you know exactly how weak Build is at this stage in the show, because I guarantee you, like, the show is not functioning on him being on that level.
No.
He's not even halfway there yet. But it is kind of like, I should be used to this. But I know the writer can do a lot better. This isn't one of those writers I don't expect something of. The guy sets standards for himself. So, but not terrible, I will say. It's just not what I was hoping it would be. Okay. But yeah, more. I also watched the Paradox special, the Little Trick movie thing, which was a giggle and ended in actually a plot point of, oh god, he's out. But it's fun. It's a fun little thing. What else was? Watch Build 18, which was our first proper introduction to Kamen Rider Grease.
That was today's episode, wasn't it?
Not bad at all. A little heavy on the setup because it's basically setting up the nature of the driver and the nature of how this war is going to play out.
Right.
And it shows like this guy will kill you if he gets a chance. Yeah, so I'm curious. Been a bit of a while since we used this kind of setup for a driver. Also, I find it weird how much more the second driver, the Sklash driver, has to do with building things than the Build driver does. Like, his transformation, it uses a wrench, and his weapon is a screwdriver.
Yes, yeah.
And so on. And I have this weird feeling this might have been an early design aesthetic that someone decided would work better as a secondary thing. I don't know.
It'd be interesting if that was the case.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a decent episode. Still, kind of wish they'd get going on the character stuff, but ho-hum. TV wise, I've got right. So everyone's talking about 2 anime online: Devilman Crybaby and something epic. I can't pronounce the name. Poetic Epic? I don't know. Some random ass 4-coma thing. Devilman Crybaby, I will watch. I've got it downloaded from Netflix, so I will watch it in the next couple of weeks. I probably won't touch the other one with a barge pole.
Why is that?
It looks very much not my taste.
Why?
And also, both of these are shows that everyone, whether they watch anime or not, are freaking out about and screaming, oh my god, they're amazing. Always makes me cautious, because 9 times out of 10 when I encounter that show, I tend to think it's not phenomenal. And, no one's screaming about Made in Abyss. Or one I'm probably going to watch the first episode of tonight, which is the Mage's Bride.
Oh yes, Ancient Magus Bride.
Yes, yeah. They're, apart from what I was reading on reviews, those two, review wise, Made in Abyss did very, very well, and the Bride one is getting rave reviews from reviewing sites and stuff. No one's talking about it though. which mean because it hasn't hit that public consciousness bit.
Yeah.
And shows that animes that hit the public consciousness don't usually do it for me, like Castlevania or Gurren Lagann, which I like, but I'll never like as much as everyone else. Or Neo Yokio, which everyone talked about. So I don't want to. I want to take a week or two before I try Devilman Crybaby, because I do not want the hype machine to affect me. Apart from that, not much in terms of viewing. I did get a box. I did not pay for this box. This box was sent by one Jai Dizzle. Apparently sent it at the same time as his last one, but it was delayed by Irish Post. This is an insane box, Andy. This box is insanity personified. There's a lot in this box. There is a Figma skeleton, which is, in my opinion, the winning crown of the box. Because it's, wow, those really are as good as people used to say they are. Like, really. I've got mine in an O's Henshin pose at the moment, but I've got what might be the best Revoltech I've ever handled. Revoltech Yamaguchi Project Gear, which is kind of like a sort of steampunk Nazi soldier type. He's got a broken Revoltech joint in his foot, which I need to replace, but he's pretty solid. Pretty damn solid. I've never, like, he's really quite posable. And not like posable for a Revoltech, just he's really quite posable. And then the rest of the box is almost the entire Ryuki Figma line.
Wowzers. Okay. Oh, yeah. No. Dragon Knight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dragon Knight. Yes. Yep. We will speak of it no more. But let's see. I have Ryuki. I've got Scissors. I've got Zolda. I've got Raya. I've got Guy. I've got Oja. I've got Taiga. I've got Ryuga. I've got Odin. I'm missing Femme, Verde, Emperor, and Knight.
Damn, Jesus, man.
But I've got all the designs I really like. So, because no offense to Femme, Knight, Verde, or Emperor, but I actually think they're the weakest designs in the show. No, I don't think Knight's design is that great. It's very Batman if he had a cape. Batman if he had a cape. Just too Batman. It's too Batman for me. But yeah, they're really good. I haven't played with all of them, and there's like a ton of accessories and everything else. And Zolda is basically an accessory kit. But they're pretty good. They're pretty good. So thank you, Jai. You're crazy, but thank you. Yeah, that was my week, really. What about you, Andy?
I did a few things, not a huge amount. I'm trying to remember. I've started watching The New Adventures of He-Man from the 90s. It's okay. It's not amazing or anything like that. What else? I watched last week's Build. I enjoyed that. I saw what you said. It is very plot heavy and not much character stuff. I don't mind that, though, too much, because I'm finding the plot at least interesting. Have I done anything else of value? Not really. I recorded...
done anything of value?
Yeah, well, that's fun, at least. I recorded, I edited the podcast and put up the From the Files of Teletron 2 for the Patreon people. I did a small video for it as well for the free version, and I have posted that because I decided to increase the workload on myself a bit and have a bit of fun. So I did that. You can find that on my YouTube page, the Facebook page for Moonbase 2, and some other and the YouTube page for Moonbase 2, Transformers Podcast, plug. I recorded a podcast with Mr. Josh Daimuch for Moonbase Woo Woo on Disney World, and I've edited that. I haven't uploaded it yet. That'll be uploaded next Thursday. And Mr. Mikey, you've sent me an audio interview as well, which I'll need to edit at some point.
Yes, which will be up in the next week or so, I believe.
Yeah, I'll need to decide when to put that out. I'll probably put that out not next Thursday, but the week after at the very least. So
that makes sense.
Just to, we'll see how much room we have left when I've got From the Files up and all that jazz. But I'll figure that out later. I got some stuff, not a huge amount, but Mr. Colin Duff was generous enough to send me the Power of the Prime Skullgrin and Metal Hawk. So I can tell you what I think about those two. I think the shells are really cool. The Titan Masters as well. The Prime Masters inside are literally just Titan Masters, but with less functionality, I think, because I'm never going to use them as, Prime Masters, and I think it's a shame they don't have faces on them, to be fair. One thing I think is a big misstep is I really think third-party companies, or I know people on Shapeways are doing this, people are making parts to turn these things into vehicles, like the shells into vehicles.
Oh, right.
Because it's not too hard, because, for the weapon mode, you just lie them down. People are making like wings for them to hold in their hands and replacing for instance, Metal Hawk, replacing the gun part with a cockpit part. So when it flips over his head and it's kind of a jet. You could do the same with Skullgrin, but you could make him hold like tank treads and then maybe put a turret on him at some point. And I think if they had that, they'd have a bit more playability to them because the weapon mode is very just there. Like, Metal Hawk's weapon mode looks fine because it's a gun. Skullgrin's being a giant claw kinda works, but you need to really find a good pose for it to work. And the Prime Masters plugging into the weapons just looks, again, a bit awkward. It's a just giant square on top of your gun. So it's a little disappointing. I think that the shells itself, the main reason you buy it is for the shell, I think. And that looks good, and it still works, and it's not a bad representation of a pretender. And I'll be buying the rest, but I just think it's a bit of a misstep by Hasbro that they didn't do a bit more with it, if you know what I mean. We also know that they don't like parts forming these days, so that's probably another reason. Yep. I also got through the post for myself, Legends Misfire, which is really cool. He's a really good figure. I like him a lot more than my Titans Return Trigger Happy. Mainly because I just like the shape of the jet way more. Like, it's just a cool looking jet. The Target Master, which is Aimless, just the way he works is a lot better than the one that came with Cup, whatever that one's called. Do you know offhand, Mikey?
Not off the top of my head.
No, it works better than that. Just
Sue Fairborn, I believe.
Sue Fairborn, that'll do. It works better in the fact that you don't need to grab the waist and turn the waist to turn the head for that kind of gimmick. And there's no point where the gun part has to clip in and leave indentations and marks, which it did on my Sue one for Cup. The head's on its own joint, which is nice, but he doesn't have a waist joint now, so... it's slightly limited in that way, but at least it has its own separate head joint, and I like it better just as a transformation. So that's an improvement. And the actual Titan Master for Misfire is great. There's so much paint on him. He has a painted face, which is really good. Visor's painted, the head around it is painted, and the little mouth bit is painted. And he also has little black gloves as well. And the outside of the arms are painted. So there's a lot of detail painted onto the Titan Master. And Misfire himself as a Transformer is just great. Lovely and proper, like, cartoon pink, not the slightly lame pink of the American version, if you ask me. Very good. The only problem with my Misfire, let's call it the Transtector, is you would peg the forearm into the back of the leg for the plane mode, and one of those pegs doesn't peg in desperately well. It's a bit more faff to go in than I'd like it to be, but it's still fine. And one other thing they have changed, I think, off the top of my head, is they've changed the cockpit canopy thing to put an actual hole in the top of it. So again, far superior to Cup, who couldn't interact with his Target Master in vehicle mode. There was nothing you could do with it apart from stuff it on the side, which was a pain in the arse and looked shit. You can at least put Aimless on the top in gun mode in the plane. So again, a much better idea. It works. It looks big and clunky, but it always looked big and clunky even on the G1 version. But at least it has a place to go. So there you go. Misfire. And I got a cool comic with him too. So that's another big selling point.
Where he has the most amazing outfit.
That's right. He's got his pimp outfit, and he turns Xiao Xiao into a baby.
Yep.
And he turns Rodimus into Hot Rod into Rodimus.
Yep. Still not the worst thing to ever happen to her.
Do you think? Oh, we won't get a comic, but that would have been how he would have became Rodimus Prime, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, someone would have shot him with Misfire's gun. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, that's it. That's all I've been up to, really, apart from other family boring stuff. So I think with that, Mr. Mikey, we'll call it a show, unless you've got anything else.
No, that's me done.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for listening to the podcast. Do we have any questions, Mikey?
Not this week, no. But if you do have any, you can send them into the moonbase2@gmail.com. And remember, that's 2, the number, not the word.
Yes, don't do that. Don't be bad. I also want to send out a thanks to Spencer Bowlett, I think is how you say it, who has joined us on Patreon.
Thank you, Spence.
So thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. And if you join up like Spence by heading over to the Patreon page, which is patreon.com/moonbase2, and do $2 each month, you'll get from the Files of Teletran 2 early and extended, where we're talking about Visionaries at the moment, which Mikey has an interview for, so it's even more of a reason to sign up, if you ask me. You also get Moonbase Woo Woo, where, as I said, you'll get this month us talking about Disney World, which is a great place. And Josh has a lot of experience with Disney World as he used to work there, so it's kind of interesting from that aspect as well. It's a long show. It's nearly 3 hours long. And I think that's all the Patreon plugins. So if you want to find you, Mikey, on the internet, where can people do that?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo, and YouTube as DWolf3. You can find me on paleoandnerd.wordpress.com. You can find me on the Old Oil House. And sometimes you just can't find me.
Oh my god.
Ever.
My god. All right, cool.
What about you, Andy?
You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr as CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW, and you can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums. We're on Twitter, iTunes, Tumblr, Facebook, on the Libsyns, on the RSS feeds across the world. You can find us in lots of different places, and you can do the Patreon thing again if you really wanna. And you can head over to YouTube and go to Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast if you want to just listen to us through the power of the YouTubes, because that's cool too. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mikey, for joining me on this week.
Always glad to.
Despite our few problems we've had this week
I blame
with
French.
issues and issues with tech and families and all that jazz. That's just how it goes. But until next week, Mikey, I might have a Doki Doki crisis. I don't know. We'll just have to
You
wait and
have
see.
no concept. None.
Until next week, everybody.
Just Monica.